Hi there and welcome to the start of another week of the 5K Everyday series. Now remember, it really doesn't matter whether it's a Friday for you and it's a Monday for me. This is all about just giving you like a 22 to 25 minute workout that you can fit into your day, whatever day that is. It's currently February the 16th. It might be August the 12th for you. Who knows? Just pick one of these rows whenever you're just looking for like an easy 20 to 25 minute row and you just want a bit of company, a little bit of technique chat, but then just a bunch of just waffle that comes out of my mouth. And I'll just keep you going if you're listening and all that stuff, all right? So we are on the Sentinel Spin course on the Exer app today, in case you're wanting to load that up and kind of row at the same time. I'm gonna do basically run about 2 times around on this, because I'm gonna do 5K and then I'll do like a 1K kind of cool down at the end. Hopefully that's gonna give you enough time if you're looking to try and get up to that 5K, if you're a little bit slower than me, or maybe you're gonna get up to like 7K if you're a little bit faster than me. It really doesn't matter. Like I say, it's that core 20 to 25 minutes, a nice low intensity, fitness building intensity. That's really what matters here, all right? So if we're done with me waffling for the time being, let's get our machines set up and we can get into the row. So I want you to head to drag factor resistance, whatever it is that you use in your machine to change how it feels. And what you're looking for is to feel connected to the stroke, but you don't have to tug and heave against the thing in order to get it moving. Don't have it so low that you can't feel the stroke either. Foot stretcher height, and this is an important one. I want you to just look at your straps and where the strap covers your feet. And what you want to start off is that the strap covers the balls of your feet, the widest part, rather than the big bony part up high. Really take a look at it. The amount of times I say this to someone and then they'll kind of look, and I'll get a video from them and I'll be like up here and I'm like, what are you doing? This affects your ability to get into the front of the machine with your shins in a vertical position, okay? Because your feet will get all bound up if you're set too high. Too low isn't really as bad a problem, but what happens then is you overcompress and your backside comes away from underneath you. You get a less effective workout, all right? So finally, the seats, sorry. I've got 2 finally. So this is going on a bit. If you're new to this, this is what I'm like, all right? We will get started in about 30 seconds. The seats, sit towards the front of the seat and more towards the front of your backside rather than the back of the seat and the back of your backside. If you're rowing like this, you're just not getting the power up through your body and into the machine, and it's the primary cause of backside pain. If you're currently Googling seat pads, think about your posture first. And finally, the handle. Let's hold that at shoulder width with our fingers hooked over it rather than narrow and a really kind of grasping grip of it. And that'll just help everything. You want to be relaxed when you're rowing. Look, I'm almost color coordinated today with the red shoes, the red shorts, and the kind of, what do you call this, wine colored t-shirt. It says I've got this, but it's a mirror image so that when you're in front of the mirror, it says I've got this, okay? So here we go, we're gonna get started finally. This has to be one of the longer intros to one of my things. So if you're ready, you're gonna get started at a nice low intensity in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Right. I don't know why, I feel I was wanting to pack in a lot of stuff today. I'm always talking about how this is meant to be just the distance doesn't matter. Okay, even though I've called this 5K every day, it should be called 25 every day. Is it any good? 25 by 5? Should I change it to that? Does that make any sense? For like 25 minutes, 5 days a week. Answers on a postcard if you've got a better title for this series. The point is that I want people to know that it's just a workout you can come back to every day, 0 pressure to perform. If you're looking for performance, I've got hundreds of workouts up here on the channel which will push you, but this is just about getting your body moving, like I say, either as a wake-up workout before the day ahead, or maybe you just want to do some low-intensity rowing to build your fitness, or for cardio and amongst a whole bunch of weights. Who knows? But that's what these workouts are here for. And also, because it's a lower intensity, and if you're following me, we're at around about 20 strokes a minute. It gives you the space to think about technique. I'll go through this quickly, okay? Don't worry. You're like, oh man, he's gone straight into technique. I'm gonna get through it quick. I've already said about posture on the seat, okay? So this is really important that you do think about sitting primed. Everything you do in technique is all about setting yourself up for the drive, okay? Or the drive itself. And posture is really the primary helper here. If you think about sitting up and tilting forwards to the front of the machine before you slide, then you will use less energy to get to the front of the machine, and you will be able to put in more power to the machine. So what I want you to do is, when you pull the handle into your chest, this is where you reset for the next stroke. So handle comes in to sternum height, okay? It's not up in your neck, you're not rolling it down into your stomach. Wrists flat, pull the handle into sternum height. Have a look, take a few strokes, look at your wrists. Are they coming in flat? You might want a slight outwards flare of your elbows to keep them flat. Or are you doing this kind of strange flick with your handle? Woo. Or up. Woo. Flat. So look, are you bringing it in? Sternum height. That point in your ribs where both sides meet. Bra strap height. Heart rate monitor height. Kind of an inch below your nipples height. So, handle comes in, and then you let it tap against your chest, and then instantly come away, okay? So again, look at that. Are you pausing? Or is the handle just almost bouncing off your chest? Handles away, then you sit up. So handles, sit up. Then handles, sit up, tilt. Handles, sit up, tilt. And it's only once the handle is past your knees, and that tilt means that your head is about to get to your knees. That is when you bend your knees. And that bending of the knees, combined with the momentum of your upper body tilting forwards, that mass moving forwards, that's all you need to get to the front of the machine. So I want you to look at your knees. Handle away, my knees are still down. Handle, knees are down. I've got a soft bend, but knees are down here until hands are past, or pretty much at my feet, and my face is about to pass my knees. And then look at your feet. Are you tugging on the straps? Can you see your feet flicking back at the straps here? Because you're not meant to. At the back of the stroke, and for coming forwards, you shouldn't need to tug on the straps, especially at this easy 20 strokes a minute. And if you don't believe me, whoop, whoop, there we go. Sorry, podcast people, that was me just taking my feet out of the straps. So, because I'm using my body's momentum and that bend of my knees, I'm able to get to the front of the machine without tugging on the foot straps. Okay? Hopefully that proves it to you. So look, if you're going to try this yourself, of course, just loosen the straps first. I don't want you falling off the back of the machine. Roll until shins are vertical, no more. And then the moment you hit that shin's vertical position. I want you to push your feet into the machine. Push the machine away from you. But really importantly here, you need to keep arms straight and the forwards tilt as you push your feet into the machine. So again, I want you to look at your arms and especially your elbows and see if they bend when you're still at the front of the machine. Are you yanking, fighting the weight of the machine and disengaging your legs? So you keep arms straight. Also, you want that forwards tilt. This is a harder one to gauge because so many people swear blind that they are keeping their upper body tilted forwards, but they're actually looking backwards. So you need to be, a mirror really helps there, to be honest, or filming yourself and watching it back, or filming yourself and having a live monitor in front of you. Anyway, arms straight, forwards tilt, push the machine away, but you need to have a good posture here. Sitting up on your sit bones still, and a braced core. So, kind of like, you know, like when you cough, you just tense your core. That's what you're looking for. It's not like you're not about to get shot in the stomach with a cannonball or punched by Mike Tyson. Just braced enough so that you have kind of made your core solid to allow the power to come from your legs, through your body, through that core, into your arms, and then you brace against the handle. You're not pulling, you're bracing. You only pull at the back of the stroke. So when your legs are done, when your legs are halfway done, that's when you swing from that forwards tilt to a backwards tilt. And as you start that swing, that is when you finally pull in to a finish. And really, what you're looking for is legs to be down, and then pretty much immediately after your legs are down, in a soft lock, not totally locked, but legs come down, then your backswing finishes pretty much instantly after your legs, and then your arms finish pretty much instantly after your back. And then think about pointing your toes to the front of the machine, and that will keep you engaged, and that makes sure that all of your momentum, if you get that timing right, your backwards momentum goes into the handle and into the machine. And that is what is stopping me from falling off the back of the machine here. And then rinse and repeat. Handle away, sit up, roll. Now, I'm afraid I lied to you, didn't I? I said I was going to go through technique quickly, and that was a good 10 minutes. So, my apologies. I'm not going to apologize for actually talking technique. Somebody out there would have looked at their wrists at the back, or their elbows at the front, and gone, oh, I am pulling early, or I am finishing. with like bunny hands. Anyway, so I said I had a plan for today, and now that we're 12 minutes in, well, you never know actually, this could make it interesting. Basically, I think week 1 or 2 of making these, Paul got in touch and said, can you give us something about your history? Like basically, why am I the one sitting here professing to be the one who will help you with your rowing? What gives me this big head? Other than the fact that I've got the camera equipment, the green screen, and the edit suite. So, what I'm going to endeavour to do through this week's set of 5 rows, might not take up all 5 rows, but I want to explain where I came from, how I got through exercise, how I started rowing, how I started competing, and basically what it's taken us to me now sitting here doing these 5Ks every day. So hopefully you'll find it interesting enough to follow me through the story. If not, sorry. I'll try and make it entertaining at least. But I don't know, maybe it would help to know why I'm here doing this, how I got here. The difficulties I had, or at least the challenges I had, let's not say difficulties. Didn't really have that many difficulties. But yeah, so we'll at least start today. I can only say where I came from and kind of, let's see how far we get. So I think it's, looking back, it's a bit of a miracle that exercise, fitness has become my thing. Mum was very much the kind of social, how do you put it? Mum would be the kind of person that at a party would be sitting on a big high-backed chair, a glass of wine next to her, a packet of Marlboro hundreds, emptying very quickly through the evening as she entertained the people around her with stories. And Mum was just very, very sociable. I could say she would make friends in an empty room. Although she was terribly agoraphobic. I think she was like that in the face of her kind of discomfort. I mean, I'm similar in that stick a camera in front of me, put me on a rowing machine, and, well, as you know, I can literally talk and talk and talk. But put me in a social setting, like a pub, one-on-one with someone, I run out of chat really quickly. Anyone who's met me in real life will know that. Unless, well, if it's about rowing and fitness, I can talk, but it takes a special friend that I can open up to and be myself with. I mean, Julie, my wife, she's obviously that person. Anyway, so Mum was definitely not into fitness. anytime she did anything when it came to, inverted commas, health, it was always like slimming, Weight Watchers, all that kind of stuff. It was never about exercise. And I remember when she passed away during COVID, as we were clearing out the house, there was like a big wicker basket next to where she sat, filled with fat burning pills and things. So that was that side of it. Dad was in the army. He was an MP, doing national service, but he then ended up in an office job, high up, working for Royal Insurance. Unfortunately, when I was 7, he was in a major car crash and didn't make it. So I kind of, from the age of 7, no longer had that kind of male presence anyway, losing my dad. And so I was kind of a lost child for quite a long time. I kind of got into trouble a few times. Kind of normal 10-year-old boy stuff, but I was just a little bit of a wild child. But the one thing is that once I started high school, it was about 2.5 miles away. And I had lunch money every day to buy my lunch, but I didn't want to spend it on lunch. I wanted to save it. So every day, I would run home from school at lunchtime to go home, make myself a sandwich or a microwave meal or something, and then I'd walk back to school again, but with a full belly. Couldn't run. But that was like every day for, I'd say, first year, second year. So 12, 13, or 11, 12 years old. And so it wasn't about fitness, but when you're that age and you're running 2.5 miles every day, like from zero activity. I mean, I've never been like a sports guy in terms of playing football. Oh, I've always, what you'll find from this story is that everything I've done on my own. So team sports like football, rugby, never had any interest in them. Even when I got older and all my friends were playing hockey, no interest at all. I was playing squash, hitting a ball up and down the wall while they were all out in the field playing hockey. But so apart from just like PE at school, physical education, really the most activity I had was running home every lunchtime. And then I would, oh, I'm done with my 5K. Oh, I'll ease off a bit because I don't want to go too hard because I'm training again later. But I'll try and hold the stroke rate. And I'll take it up to 6K and then I'll stop. Because I would, every Saturday, Mum and I would go to the shops. We'd go to, would have been William Lowe. For all the Scottish viewers, you might remember William Lowe is the supermarket. And Mum would say, right, what do you want for treats for the week? You could have 3 things. And I would invariably get a box of Cadbury's Fingers, a box of Cadbury's Animal Biscuits, yum yum yum, and a box of Tunnock's tea cakes. Now again, maybe you don't know what a Tunnock's tea cake is. It's kind of like a softish digestive biscuit with a big mound of marshmallow on top, like soft gooey marshmallow, not one you stick in the fireplace. All sealed in with a hard but thin shell of chocolate. Seriously, just when you're done with today's row, Google Tunnock's tea cakes and you'll know exactly what I'm on about. And wow, they're amazing, but a lot of sugar in one of them. And that'd be the Saturday at the shops, I'd pick up them. Then we'd come home, I'd do whatever it was I did when I was that age. Didn't really hang around with like groups of friends and stuff. I don't know, watched a lot of TV. Let's say that. And it got to 5 o'clock on a Saturday, and that's where the good TV started. Knight Rider, Airwolf, the A-Team, that's showing my age, just saying them. All that came on before you got like Blind Date and stuff, and surprise, surprise, but wasn't into that at all. Airwolf, Knight Rider, and whatever. What was the motorbike one called? Was it Street Hawk? I can't remember. Anyway, and I would sit down and I'd watch, there'd always be like 2 of them on. So over the course of 2 hours, I would sit down and devour all 3 boxes of chocolates, basically, biscuits. Chocolate biscuits. Boasters was the other one. Big cookies with hazelnuts in them. Oh. Anyway, so I was destined to become quite a fat child. And actually like the large gene runs strong in the male side of my family. So I was destined to be big the way I was eating. But then all the running at lunch was kind of helping. Just to, at least, well, I was doing something. And like during the week I wouldn't eat much. That's the funny thing, because I ate it all on the Saturday. But that was it for activity. It's really just PE or those runs. And then, when I was, 11, 12, I talked about this last week or the week before, but I got my grandfather's drum kit, his little jazz drum kit. And that kind of triggered quite a lot of changes for me. So that then became all about playing the drums. Constantly just be sitting there playing the drums. So I wouldn't be sitting watching TV, stuffing my face. I'd just be playing the drums the whole time. I must have driven Mum and my sister and neighbours absolutely mad, but the little jazz drum kit wasn't that loud, so it was fine. And if I look at photos over the years, you can see that I went from, where are we distance-wise? Okay, you can see that I went from being kind of like a pudgy little 10-year-old to suddenly, not suddenly, but over the course of like 6 months to a year, I suddenly became this kind of stick-thin waif of a boy. Whew, okay, because I spent my whole time playing the drums. And there's the activity part of it, where yes, you're moving, whatever, but it was just about the fact that I was no longer just sitting there in front of the TV, watching the A-Team and whatever, and just stuffing my face. I was just playing the drums, and I just, everything was kind of like, was about that. So that really kind of, that giving yourself something better to do other than just sitting in front of the telly and stuffing your face really did, it made a difference in something that I still come, I mean, last night we were, what did we watch? Playdate, is that what it was called? Oh, with Kevin, what was the second? Kevin Hart? No, not Kevin Hart, that's, but it's got Alan Richards. Is it Richards? Alan Richards, yeah. The guy that plays Reacher. and the other guy, Kevin, anyway, and it's not a very good film. It's fun at times, and basically Julie was, the kids were in bed or upstairs, and Julie's doing like this massive 2,000-piece jigsaw right now, and I've got this Lego Lamborghini. I've talked about that last week, and so we kind of just she was doing her Lego. Her jigsaw. I was building my Lego, and we had that movie on in the background, but. It's kind of like you're just sitting there, and I'm like, I fancy this. So I got myself a little bag of popcorn. It's only like 90 calories, a little bag of popcorn. So I'm building my Lego, just start stuff that in my face. And then they'd been out and did the Too Good To Go thing, where you get kind of food that's about to go stale from bakeries or whatever. And it's just, well, it's a bit fun in that it's a great way to just kind of like get a bunch of food for cheap. And so there's like all this hot cross buns and donuts and all that kind of stuff in the house right now, which is really tricky. So I went and just got myself a donut because I'm just sitting there watching TV and like just devoured, like mindlessly devoured. And that's kind of what I'm saying, is that if you need to watch these points. Here's the takeaway. This is like Doogie Howser, isn't it? Ding, 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 ding. Oh no, he didn't. It was a computer he was on. The takeaway for today's story, for this intro, okay, so we're going to move, in the next chapter, coming up next, is going to be my flight through drumming and in the band. Don't worry, it's quick. And then how that then got me started with proper exercise coming out the back end of it, okay? So that's where we're going with tomorrow's role, in case you're like, what? Why is he talking about all this stuff? But what I kind of learn, but learn as in like hindsight learn, is that if I am idle, if I'm not moving, if I'm not doing something, if I'm just sitting there watching TV or whatever, then I revert back to that 10-year-old boy with his box of fingers and Tunnock's tea cakes and whatever. I just want to just stuff my face while I'm watching TV. So this is why I constantly keep myself busy and try not to just sit there and do it. Or like weekends is basically where I do it. Like Friday nights when Julie and I will have our big spaghetti bolognese and whatever. That's fine because I'm eating spaghetti bolognese while I'm whatever. And then Saturday night we'll like have a nice meal and whatever. And so I ease off because again, I mean, life is also for enjoying. And as long as you're not overindulging to the point where you're unhealthy, then enjoy your life. Like, yeah, life is short. But it all comes with your goals. There's no point in having a goal and then sabotaging yourself because it's like, life is short, so all that stuff. So anyway, that's what I learned from that part. That stage of my life was all about that I knew that if left to my own devices, I will eat and eat and eat and get big. And this does come back round about when I was 26. This does come back to bite me again, so that'll be like a further part. Anyway, so that's the intro part to my story. Tell me if you want me to continue, all right? I'm basically just talking about this stuff to keep you company as you get through this 25-minute row, whatever. So, and you don't need to hear every single day. Like, I mean, I went through 10 minutes of technique today, and like again, what I'll do like hopefully like a 5-minute one tomorrow on technique and whatever. So we cover that stuff. I don't think this is the kind of workout where you need me to be talking about motivation and brr. I think all I'm trying to do is keep you on the machine. So if telling you the story of how I got from being a little pudgy drummer to all the way to winning gold medals at the rowing championships and all that kind of stuff, to then what then happened to then lead me to here to be the kind of like the YouTube Don't Row Alone, RowAlong guy, then hopefully you're interested in it, okay? Hopefully this is kind of keeping you company while you're rowing. Let me know, and I'll know whether to continue or not. You know I'm going to continue anyway, but let me know. So I might as well at least give you the option. But yeah, so that's where we are today's workout. I'm not going to do any stretching today because I need to go in and do some quite specific stretching. So I did a 5K run on Saturday morning. I did a park run, and as much as I was trying to protect myself from DOMs, I've got my quads are a little bit sore, so I want to go in and stretch them properly and get like the massage gun and stuff on it. So if you're looking for a little bit of stretching guidance, remember I do have a compilation video up here on YouTube that is, I think it's like 9 hours worth of all the different stretching routines that I've done after workouts through the years. So you can just kind of jump to one of them and kind of do that one, follow along with that, get your legs stretched. But what I recommend is quads, glutes, shoulders, forearms, and hamstrings is the things to stretch. But yeah, but tomorrow I'll make sure and I'll bring stretching back, okay? So who just raced past me? That was incredible. We'll see who they are. Who's that? Is that Harper that went past? Well done, Harper, for going so fast. Anyway, and remember, Exer is Exer's a great app. It's the one that's been running in the background. And I might actually use this all week just because it's something a bit more interesting to look at than data. So I might just kind of stick this up all week while I'm telling my story, so that way you can look at that. And that'll hopefully be more interesting than what's coming out of my mouth. But yeah, go to exergame.com to see more about it. Download an app, you get a free trial. Use the code RA26. And you'll get 15% discount. I get no referral or anything. All I get is their thanks. But you will get a discount. I get nothing. You get a discount if you use RA26. Okay, so we're done. Yeah, we're done. I've done all my apologies about no stretching and talked about stuff and whatever. So hopefully I've waffled on enough for you to get in a decent row today, whether you're continuing to row while I'm talking now, or whether you managed to get to whatever your goal was halfway through this kind of like end part, or maybe you beat me to the 5K, who knows? As long as you got a great workout, that's what matters, all right? So I will be back tomorrow for another one. I look forward to continuing my story. Hope you're finding it interesting. And I will, I keep on avoiding saying I will see you then, because obviously I won't see you then. Unless you leave a comment. If you leave a comment, I will see you. Make a comment. So do that. And then I can actually say I will see you then. All right? So there we go. There's a deal. And make sure and tell your friends about this. If you've got rowing exercise friends, whatever, just tell them about this. There we go. That's me done my kind of like, hey, trying to sell RowAlong right at the very end. Yeah, all right, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna go and have a shower. I'm gonna have something to eat. I'm gonna have something to drink. And because the kids are off school for its half term and because my wife is working from home today, I have 3 options and 2 cats as well. I have 5 options in the house. I'll pick one of them and tell them I love them. The rest of them I'm like, you're dead to me. But you, I love. Probably the cat. She fell asleep on my legs again last night, which is so lovely to have. I'm like, oh, I can't move. She was asleep on my legs, but because Isa is Julie's cat, like they are just like completely glued together. So when she actually sleeps on me, I think it's a mistake. I think she probably thinks that I'm Julie, but I'll take it when I get it. Anyway, have a great day ahead. I will see you in the next one. Until then, row well, be well. Bye bye.